Hey guys, before we jump into the video, don't mind me sitting here in my hotel room, but in the process of recording and editing this video, we lost Ken Block. As most of you already probably know, if you watch this channel, we lost him to a snowmobile accident on the 2nd of January 2023. I usually don't do these types of things, but Ken Block was a huge inspiration and hero for most of us as car guys. He put Gymkhana on the map and created a crazy following. He put the stuff we do with cars more in the mainstream than any other driver in history. It is sad to see him go at the age of 55. There will probably be nobody else like him ever in history. I do hope that Travis Pastrana keeps the Gymkhana stuff going and kind of keeps alive what Ken Block initially maybe not created, but definitely made popular for the most of us. And I just want to send my condolences to his family. I know most of you are grieving in your own ways. It caught me by surprise, just like everybody else. It's a sad start to 2023 for the car community. It's a huge blow to all of us. I know it's still in the early days, but I hope all of you are finding your ways of coping with this loss to the car community. And let's get to the show. Hey guys, and Happy New Year 2023. New year, new me, right? Actually, same me, different year. Before we jump into today's video, what I'd like to do is kind of give you a preview of what's coming up on this channel in 2023. So first things first, let's address the elephant in the room, the one I am leaning up against, the 190E. I haven't done much in the second half of the year with this thing in 2022, but this year, 2023, I really want to get this thing out on track. Obviously, I have to get the engine swapped on. Now, I've been watching prices of engines and everything else, and they seem to start coming down to a more normal level. Now, I thought about going with the 5.3 LS truck motor route that a lot of people go with, but I'm a very, very particular person. I set my mind on the fact that this car is going to have a GLC63 with an LS3 in it, and finally prices are starting to come back down to normal, meaning that I will be able to finally get an engine into this thing. Now, mind you, it's going to take a while. It's not as simple as just unbolting the old one and bolting the new one in. This car was never designed to have a V8 in it, so it will take a little bit of work, but that is definitely something that this year needs to get done, and this car needs to be shredding tires this year. Next thing is the C63, and I do plan on continuing this year with running this car competitively in class. I did find a couple rules that I could stretch a little bit to make the C63 still in street class and be a little bit more competitive. That will be in future videos. I will try to run the whole season and try to fight for the championship, but with all the other plans I have in place, it might conflict a little bit. We'll see when they release the dates for all the events, but it might be a little bit difficult to attend every single one of them. Next is the Golf R, and I do have plans for the Golf R. I am, I guess, fortunate enough that I still, even though I have been out of the VW game for quite a few years, still have contacts within the VW world. So with that car, what I plan to do is continue daily driving it because it does a fantastic job at that. But I also want to boost it to the moon. My plan with that car is to have the fastest Golf R with stock exhaust and intake on it because I don't want a whole bunch of noise. I still want it to be road usable. And I have a custom tuner lined up to do a custom tune on it to boost it through the moon. So that will be in some future videos. With Lauren's GLC, we do plan on putting a tune on it. I planned on doing that last year, but between the transfer case breaking and holidays and everything else, I just didn't want to down the car because I have to remove the ECU and send it out. I just didn't want to down the car for a few days or a week, etc. I also have other plans and events I want to attend. I'm going to go to Wookiees in the Woods. If you're unfamiliar with what Wookiees in the Woods is, I went to one of the first events they ever did in 2009 in my own R32. Now that I have a Golf R, I do want to attend the event. I have a friend of mine, his wife has a Golf R, and I've been friends with this guy for a better part of 15 years. We did all the VW things together, so we plan on going to that together and bringing her car and bringing my Golf R. So that's in the works. That's a plan for April. Another event that I plan on attending is Alpine Fest, which is in Helen, Georgia. What used to be SOA or Southern Worthesy, the equivalent of Worthesy Tour of the US, became Alpine Fest. And we already have a house booked, an Airbnb, and I do plan attending that. I love Helen, Georgia. I think I've been to Helen every year for the last decade at least, even during COVID. There are plenty of other events I'd like to attend. Like I said, I want to get this thing out on track. That's probably priority one, is actually getting this car track ready and taking it out drifting. It's been sitting here and I've been diddling with it and little things, and it's just been bothering me. I'm not the type to let a project span over years and years. I'd rather have everything in place and build it kind of like I did with my Mark III. With the Mark III, I know a few videos back I mentioned about doing an R swap on it. That's still an idea, but for now, especially after purchasing the Golf R, I may hold off on that, but I do want to re-register that car because it hasn't been registered in like 7 years. And I want to take it out to some events as well. It's a car that has been a part of me and a part of my life for a long time, and I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it, and I definitely don't want to get rid of it. So that's a car that you'll probably see more of this year as well. As time goes, I will update everybody on everything and all the work in progress, but let's jump to what we're here to do. So here's what we're doing today. Obviously, this thing looks a lot cleaner on camera, but it's actually filthy and covered in salt, and we got rain last night, so it did a little bit of a favor in cleaning this thing off. But over Christmas, we took this thing up north to Chicago and got hit with a blizzard and -30 wind chills and everything else. The car did great, minus the fact that we are on Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and they don't work in the snow, so that was very interesting. I thought my awesome driving skills and the fact that the car is heavy, I'd be able to deal with driving through some snow. Not really, very scary, but we made it in one piece there and back without any problems. So what we have to do is now detail this thing. I want to make sure I get all the salt off of it, because obviously we don't get salt down here. So I want to get all the salt off of it. I want to make sure this car is spotless so we don't have any rust issues in the future. So I'm going to detail this thing. I also got to detail this thing because it's been kind of neglected when it comes to cleanliness, as you could tell by the wheels. Not ideal. So that's the plan for today. We'll have some ASMR type stuff. I'm going to detail this thing. I'm going to clean this thing, maybe not necessarily detail, but definitely clean it up. So let's jump into it. So we'll leave it off there. Obviously, I didn't record washing the Mark 6. Nobody wants to watch me wash cars all day. Try saying that fast. Now there are a few more things I forgot to mention in my intro. Obviously, you saw it's been a couple of days, so I got to test Mr. Sam's spray wax that I used on Lauren's car. She drove it around for the last few days. It rained a little bit and beads off water really well, and her car actually looks a lot cleaner than the Mark 6 does because I didn't use it on it. So that was a good purchase. Thanks a lot, Cleet, for that one. If you follow my Instagram, you probably saw that I posted a B5 4Motion Passat. That is a car that you'll probably see later on in the year. I'll have to go get it. It's a Passat wagon, and I've been thinking about what I want to do with it, and I kind of want to lean towards making it kind of a drag car. I'd love to do a drag week one time at least in my life, and building that to be a VR6 turbo maybe or something like that. Swap that in there and make it maybe like a 10-second-ish wagon. I think that'd be pretty cool. We'll see. Probably won't get that down here and start working on it till later on in the year. I also have to get married this year, so that will obviously take some money away from all these other projects, but I'll do my best to keep content coming. I'm sure other things will pop up as the year progresses, but I'm hoping for a strong 2023 and making more videos for you guys. I'm always open to suggestions. Please feel free to leave comments and anything else, and I'll keep on at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.